Okay, we're going to be talking about the math that you're going to encounter on the task, and in particular, one thing that you definitely want to know. Okay, so let's just go right into it. But actually, before we even do that, if you're preparing for the task and you're struggling with math, I offer a full comprehensive math course. I want to check that out. I'll leave a link in the description in this video, so you can check that out if you need a lot of help. But with that being said, let's go ahead and teach you something that you definitely want to know on the task. Now, of course, the task is a high school equivalency exam, pretty much like the GED or HiSET. So what that means is effectively you're going to need to know a good amount of high school algebra and geometry. Okay, and one of the key concepts you learn in geometry, and there's a lot of things you learn, but one of the things that you really study in high school geometry is how to deal with triangles. Okay, so triangles. And I'm going to teach you something about a particular type of triangle that is very common. It's something you really need to master. Okay, and it's not that difficult. So if you just pay attention, you stick around for this video, you're definitely going to learn something. So let me go ahead and just draw a triangle, and then we'll start talking about it. All right, here's a basic triangle. Now this is one type of triangle, and I'm going to draw another type of triangle. All right. Okay, so these are obviously two triangles, and I'm going to give you a little bonus material here, something that is not relevant to what I'm going to, directly relevant to what I'm going to be talking about, but it's definitely something that you want to know. Okay, so these are both triangles. Now, one of the things you want to know about triangles is that the sum of the angles, okay, this angle plus whatever this angle measure here, if you add up this degrees, okay, and we measure the angle in degrees. Okay, there's other ways to measure it in math, but for what you want to know, you'll be okay just finding what the degrees are. Okay, so if this right here maybe is, let's say, 30 degrees, this let's say would be, say, 60 degrees, and let's say this right here is 90 degrees. But the sum of the angles in a triangle, anytime you add all three up, will always add up to 180 degrees. You definitely need to know that, okay? Now, that's not going to be the main thing that I'm going to talk about in this video, but really, you know, that's in it. I can make a separate video with the same title. Hey, you need to know this, all right? So the sum of the angles in any triangle, okay, is always 180 degrees. So for example, let's say this was 100 degrees, okay, and these two angles here would have to add up to how much? Well, they have to add up to 80 degrees, right? Because the sum is got to be 180. So for example, maybe this could be 40 degrees, and then this over here could also be 40 degrees, because 40 and 40 is 80, plus this 100 will give us 180 degrees, okay? So definitely need to know that. The sum of the angles of any triangle always add up to 180 degrees. Now, what's often a common problem in high school level mathematics, and that's what you're going to be dealing with on a task, is determining the missing angle of a triangle. And what they're really testing is your understanding of this basic principle that the sum of the angles is always 180. All right, with that being said, let's get back to what I want to teach you, okay? Well, in addition to what I just taught you. So here we have two different triangles, okay? Now, when you have a triangle that has a 90-degree angle, such as this triangle here, this is a special type of triangle, okay? We call these right triangles, right triangles. Now, right triangles are very, very, very important in math, okay? And we actually study them in a lot of detail. And I don't know if you've heard of this math course called Trigonometry, or have heard of Trigonometry. It's often taught either separately, it's common to learn trigonometry within another course, usually like the pre-calculus level. But as you progress in math, you know, you're going to be dealing with trigonometry. Now, you're not going to see a whole lot of direct trigonometry on the task, okay, but you may see a little bit for sure. So you definitely need to be familiar with some basic trigonometry. But trigonometry, if you just listen to the word trigonometry, it's really the study of angles, the study of triangles, okay? And we're talking about the angles and the lengths of a triangle, okay? But the type of triangles that we start really focusing in on are right triangles, okay? So it's very, very important to understand this. Now, a right triangle, again, is any triangle that has one angle 90 degrees, okay? So if you look at this particular triangle here, this first one, this is 90 degrees here. Now, one way we can write or indicate that a triangle has a 90-degree angles is by this little icon right here. I would call it an icon, this little notation, really. It's just like a little square thing, okay? So if you see a triangle and has this little thing like this, okay, like a little box in the corner, this means that this is 90 degrees, which is another way of telling you that this is a right triangle. So once you know that something is a right triangle, you can apply all types of properties, laws, theorems. That's just a fancy word of saying, hey, I know this guy right here is a right triangle. Wow, I know a lot about it. I got a lot of little secret math formulas that I can apply. Okay, I can apply them to this triangle because it's a right triangle. However, these formulas and all these principles do not apply to this triangle because it is not a right triangle. Okay, so this is not what I'm going to teach you next here. Is not a one size fits all. It's not like, hey, these formulas work on all triangles. No, that's not true. Only on a right triangle. That's what I'm going to be teaching you next. Okay. So with that being said, let's get right to it. All right. So what I'm going to be teaching you is something called the Pythagorean Theorem. So I'll say that again, the Pythagorean, and I'm not even going to try to spell it because I'll mess it up. I'm pretty good at math, but I'm terrible at spelling. So anyways, Pythagorean Theorem, it's in the description. I wrote this in the description of the video, but basically the Pythagorean Theorem is super famous and really, really critical. This has to do with right triangles. Again, here I have a right triangle, right? I don't even have the degrees here. I just have this little notation. It tells me, hey, it's a right triangle. So we usually write the Pythagorean Theorem like this. Okay, it's a formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, now that looks kind of fancy or intimidating, but it's really simple. Okay, so what's a, b, and c? Well, these are the sides of the lengths of a right triangle. Okay, so the Pythagorean theorem only applies to right triangles. I'm not going to tell you what that is because I just got done explaining that. Okay, so what you need to know is that A, B, and C are the lengths of this right triangle. Now, if you look here, what is the longest side of this right triangle? Okay. Well, if you notice here, this is the longest side of the triangle. It's always opposite of where the 90 degrees is at. Okay. The side opposite is always the longest side. All right. And in geometry, we have a fancy name for that. It's called the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. All right. Hypotenuse. Now, that's the longest side of a right triangle. And what you need to know is that is the C. Okay, so the C here in this equation is always the longest side of a right triangle. All right. Now, we're left with, so that's the length of this side. So now we're left with A, okay, and B. So A and B can be either side. Doesn't make a difference. We could put this side can be length B, and this side here can be length A, or vice versa. This could be A, this could be B. It doesn't make a difference. So you can switch these around. Doesn't make a difference. However, what you cannot do is the C in this equation here always has to be the longest side of the right triangle. Okay. All right, so once that's being said, let's go ahead and get to an actual example. But actually, let me just stop here. This is a relationship, okay? It's basically just relating how the sides work. And essentially what it's saying is the sum of these shorter sides, okay, these are the shorter sides, okay. So the sum of the shorter sides, okay, is going to be equal to the square of the longest side. Yeah, you don't typically see this formula written out this way, but we can kind of just see it, right? So we have the sum. In other words, we're going to add up the shorter sides, the square of these shorter sides, and that's going to be equal to the square of the longest side. So let's see how this works, okay? And let me go ahead and actually draw a little bit bigger triangle. And there's a lot that you need to, there's a lot of practice you need to do with the Pythagorean theorem, but some of the goal of this video is just to get you to a basic understanding of it. So I don't want to make this video too long, but you'll definitely have a good grounding in this, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and just write out an example. So here I indicate that this is a right triangle, so the Pythagorean theorem will apply. So let's say I have 3, 4, and 5. Notice that my hypotenuse is the longest side, okay, of this right triangle. Then I have two other there's two smaller sides. So what we're saying here is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So let's just test that relationship here. All right, so if this in fact is a right triangle, this would be true. So let's see what I'm talking about. So let's suppose I take this side, let's call that A, all right, we're going to square it. And then this side here, let's call that B, and we'll square it. It's going to be equal to this side when I square it. So let's go ahead and do the math here. So this would be 4 squared, right? That's side A. Okay, let's just call that A. It could be B, doesn't make a difference again. So if this is A, then we'll call this B. Okay, so that'll be, so let's go and do the math here. So A squared, A is the same thing as 4, so that's 4 squared, plus B squared is 3 squared, should be equal to this side, which is 5, or squared. Now, squared just simply means if I have 4 squared, all that is a notation to multiply the number by itself. So that means 4 times 4, okay? So 4 times 4 is what? 16. 3 times 3 is what? 9. And 5 times 5 is what? 25. So let's see if this math checks. Is 16 plus 9, what does that equal to? Well, in fact, it's equal to 25. So we can see that 25 is equal to 25. So in fact, these would be the actual lengths of a right triangle because the relationship is true, okay? If I gave you a problem, and this is another fancy question, I could give you something like this. I could give you a problem, let's change that 3 to a 2. I can ask you, is this a real right triangle, right? Or is this in fact a right triangle? Or is this true? Whatever, how you want to do it. All the questions basically asking you is your understanding of the Pythagorean theorem. So you would have to go in and calculate this, and in here, in this case, instead of getting 9 squared, we would get 4 squared. We would get 2 squared, which would be 4, so we'd get 20, right? So 20 is in fact not equal to 25 if we were to do this problem. So because that's not true, this cannot be a right triangle. All right, you follow what I'm saying? So the Pythagorean theorem, let's go ahead and do one other problem here real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Because there's a lot of variations of the Pythagorean theorem, not an excessive amount, but there are different variations and applications to it that you want to get good at, okay? But at least this video will get you a good solid start to the Pythagorean theorem. So let's do one quick example here. Let's say I gave you this problem, 7 and 3, and I said solve for the missing side. So here I want to determine what the length is of this side of this right triangle, okay? So I can apply the Pythagorean theorem. All right, so here I would go ahead, let me just erase this here. All right, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So a, let's call this 7 squared. Let's call this my side A. plus this side being, let's call this side b, so that would be 3 squared, right? I can switch the a's or b. It doesn't make a difference because the math still works out. But that's going to be equal to c squared. Remember, c is the longest side. I'm looking for this length. Okay, I don't know what it is, but this would be the c squared. So this is a variable x, or x squared. Okay, you follow what I'm saying here? So this side squared, 7 squared, plus this side squared, 3 squared, is equal to the hypotenuse, which is the unknown variable x squared. So now I have to just go ahead and solve this. So 7 squared is 49, plus 3 squared is 9, and that's equal to x squared. So this would be, let's see here, 58, right, is equal to x squared. So in order to determine what the actual length of this, I would have to just take the square root of this and the square root of this. See, x squared, if I want to know what x is equal to, I have to, or if I want to get to what x is equal to, I have to take the square root of x squared. All you need to know is that you need to take the square root of this x squared, in fact, to get to x. All right, so the square root of x squared is x, and that's what I'm looking for, right? And that is the square root of 58. And you can go on your calculator and actually get a decimal for that. And there's other, it starts to branch off to other things that you need to know about the Pythagorean Theorem, which is how do we work with radicals and square roots and simplify them, etc. Because you never know how a problem is going to be asked to you, and how if it's a multiple choice question, how you may need to be able to recognize an answer in different forms. So let's go ahead and wrap it up today. In this video right now. So if you got this far, if you understand this much, you already have increased your knowledge tremendously. Definitely need to know this. There's a lot of problems that involve the Pythagorean theorem. So again, if you need more help, preparing for the task and understanding this and other things, then first of all, I would suggest subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of math videos on adult education, math in general. So I think you'll find a lot of value there. Again, there's you might want to check out my complete math course. Just check out the description in this video. There's a link to it. So if you do subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification. And if you enjoyed the video, I would definitely appreciate a thumbs up, and leave me some feedback. Leave me some comments. I get a lot of comments on my videos, which I certainly appreciate. I don't respond to many of them just because I just get too many, but I do read most of them. It lets me know how I'm doing and how I can better improve to make better videos for you. But if you're taking the task, remember, take your math preparation seriously. There is a significant amount of algebra and geometry on these exams, so it's nothing that you can't learn for sure. You can definitely learn this stuff, but you're going to have to, just build up your math skills step by step, and this is one of these things that you definitely need to know. So with that being said, I thank you for your time, and have a great day.